All right, here we are again at last for another episode, another podcast. I'm your host, Jason McCormick, and my guest with me today again is Mr. Charlie Bartha, a.k.a. my stepfather-in-law. And you are listening to This Can Make Us Famous podcast, episode 5.
Number 5.
Number 5. Charlie thinks it's technically number 6 because our test podcast failed. But welcome to the show. Let's get right to it. By the way, if you see beads of sweat on our heads, it's because it's brutally hot up here. It's like, 80 degrees right now?
It's 77 outside, so it's probably in this attic. It's probably a 90-ish.
Oh, yeah, I'm about to have a heat stroke, so we're going to get through this podcast.
Or she always has to wear like 8 layers of clothing, too. So
I don't know. My arms are just too muscular, and I don't want to,
Is that what it is?
I don't want to show off and make other people look bad.
Speaking of that, he got a new camera a couple podcasts ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to know, does that camera make me look fat?
Yeah, Charlie wants to know if this camera, the lighting, just the setting itself, makes him look fat. I don't think so. I think he is a skinny man trapped in a bigger man's body. And that skinny man's just fighting to get out, Charlie.
Is it?
Like that? That was funny. So, yeah, it's hot. It's no longer wintertime. But we live here in the state of Missouri, so the weather is all over the place. It could be 80 degrees, and I kid you not, it could be snowing tomorrow, right?
Absolutely.
And I've seen it, and it's crazy. All you Midwesterners, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
That's right. Hey, Elizabeth, my oldest, when she was taking driver's training up in Michigan, literally, her mom lived 60 miles, so I let her, drive the whole entire way.
Yeah.
And literally, we went through fog, snow, rain, sleet, you name it. We hit it on the way in that 60-mile venture.
He also hit a hurricane.
No hurricanes.
Tsunami.
No hurricanes,
earthquake,
no tsunamis.
volcano.
No. Those don't happen too much in Michigan.
Basically the wrath of God in Michigan.
It was really weird, let's just put it that way.
Wow.
Oh, the sun popped up. I mean, it was just weird.
Yeah, the weather's crazy. I remember one time, there's a highway here in Missouri. It cuts Missouri straight in half. It's called Highway 70, Interstate 70. And I've taken that road hundreds and hundreds of times throughout my life, and I have seen crazy stuff. I remember one time, I don't know if you remember this, but my wife and I, we were living in Kansas City, and we were like where we are right now, but this was back the first time, and we were going back to visit my family out near St. Louis, and there was a winter storm coming in. Basically, it was freezing rain, and the ground was just straight black ice. You could see like the headlights from the cars and stuff reflecting off. Is crazy. And so we were on our way back, and I just remember it was crazy, man. There was cars flipped all over the place the whole way from St. Louis to Kansas City. We could only go like 15 or 20 miles an hour the whole way. And yeah, it's crazy. We should not have been on the road. It was too dangerous, but we needed to get back, and we went really slow. But unfortunately, you could be the one going slow, and the other drivers are crazy. So we'd have trucks flying past us, and then we would get further down the road, and they're the ones flipped over. So
How ironic.
Yeah, well, I mean, they think because you have a big rig, big old truck, that you can defeat ice.
Did you wave at him as you went by, or stop and help?
No, I saw him I saw him crawling out. Like the truck was flipped over, and they're crawling out of the back window. I guess they couldn't get the side doors open, but yeah, I remember the whole way all the way to Kansas City. It was just car after car flipped over. I had never seen anything like it. It was insane. And it had us really freaked out.
Yeah, see, we take 36 up to Michigan, and that also cuts Missouri in quarter,
Right.
I guess.
Yeah.
3/4 quarter because it's more north.
Mm-hmm.
And that road gets pretty crazy too.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, but 70, it's known for having like major accidents, and man, it's like at least once or twice a month the whole highway shut down for something crazy. So, but yeah, that's Missouri and their highways. We just this last winter we've been dealing with potholes, and it's so brutal here in Kansas City, especially. I mean, there are potholes everywhere. And they've done a better job at fixing them, but man, there was potholes that were there. Like I remember seeing this article on the news where someone took a picture of a pothole and they had a birthday cake in there with candles and they celebrated the pothole's third birthday because it was there for 3 years. I actually blew a tire, um, which there's a deeper story. I'm going to get into that. So I'm kind of rambling on, but so this is what happened. I went to a gas station with my work van and I was filling up. That's what you do at a gas station. And I see this lady and her family in a car, and they obviously look poor and needed help. They came up to me asking for money. I don't give people, just give them cash and stuff because I've seen the negativity of that. Um, I'll pay for people's stuff, but I won't just hand them cash. So I told them all I had was a debit card, which is all I had. So, and they wouldn't accept me paying for anything other than cash. So you know where that goes. So as I'm driving away, I felt very convicted, and I mean very convicted. Like I watched them as I'm driving away. I just stared at them. They stared at me, and my heart was just like racing. I'm like, oh, I know I should have helped them. And so, long story short, I'm driving down the road, and I run right over a pothole, and just boom, and my tire blows out. Literally right after this moment, I pull onto the highway like a minute or two. I hit a pothole, blow my tire. I'm stuck for a couple hours, and it was, I don't know. That that had me talking to God. I was like, okay, God, I am sorry. I missed an opportunity to help somebody. So, have you ever had something like that happen, Charlie?
I don't give to people either. I'll go buy them what they need if they need, drink of water, whatever. But no, Cindy's had convictions like that before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've been out.
You might want to get closer to your mic because it's cutting out.
Is it?
Yeah, you might want to turn it more towards your face.
No,
I have that noise gate thing on there, so it doesn't pick up. So if you're talking far away,
I could hear myself fine. But anyway, so if we go to a restaurant and Cindy starts talking to the waiter or waitress, I kind of start freaking out because usually that means she's gonna tip pretty good.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's one of the biggest tips you've ever left in your life?
Don't cross the road before.
You're not one of those guys that leaves the Jesus loves you and he has more money for you than I do. That's so irritating when people do that. So irritating.
No. We were out in Vegas. It was to celebrate Dwight and Joyce's anniversary.
Yeah.
Anniversary, and kind of a late honeymoon for us.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't help but not give this guy some money. I mean, he's there. They got these bridges.
He was holding a gun on you.
No,
you couldn't help but give.
They got these bridges that go across the road so you don't cross the streets with
Yeah.
heavy traffic or whatever. And he was up on one of those bridges and he held this sign. It says, "I'm not gonna lie. I need money for a beer."
See, I think people figure that out. That it's, I've seen signs like that quite a bit, and I think people have caught on. Like, hey, if I'm just brutally honest, I'm gonna get more from people than
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
just act like. I've seen signs that said, "I just need weed, man." like, oh, you're gonna get a lot of weed from people. I guarantee you that. But yeah, so I don't know, man.
I got lots of weeds at my house if they want to come pick
Huh?
them. Weeds.
Oh, those kinds of weeds.
Oh, that's
I
not
wonder if you
peppermint
can
mouse.
smoke dandelions.
You can eat them.
They're good for you, so why not smoke them?
Fry up a dandelion flower.
Yeah, throw them in, throw it on the grill, fry it up. Hey, that might be a new thing. So, I finally finished that TV show, Waco. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, but it's not just a TV show. I don't know, most people know, but it's not just a TV show. It's based on a true story about the Waco massacre and the leader David Koresh and the Branch Davidians. That's the religion, which I found out is they broke off from the Seventh Day Adventist Church, and that's and then the David Koresh guy basically battled with a different leader, and then something happened to that leader where I think they got arrested, and so David took the reins and became the leader, and that's how the Branch Davidians were born. And wow, man! So the show, it really paints a picture of what they went through. Now it is. It does show more of, it sides more with the Branch Davidians, like that cult, than it does the FBI. Like, it actually makes the FBI and the law enforcement look like the enemy, like they're the ones that were the problem. Now there has been, like, that's what they, I don't know the right word. Basically, people think that the FBI was responsible for it. So even before the TV show, that was the controversy. That's the word I was looking for. And after watching the show, I can see where the FBI was definitely at fault. And now these guys explain a little bit about the cult, because that's what it was. I mean, this guy David Koresh called himself the Lamb of God, and that he was basically holier than thou. He was he believed in the Bible. It teaches about the seven seals. You remember about the seven seals? Well, David Koresh believed that he was the lamb that was chosen to open the fifth seal, and so he believed he was the one to do that. And he prophesied that there would be tanks and basically the government coming to their door to take over, and that's actually what happened, which I'm not saying he's a prophet or anything. But the problem was is when people saw that, it fed into their belief. Like, they clung to him even more when they saw that happen, when the tanks actually showed up. And so, but this guy, everyone just followed every word he said, and eventually he said that. When people have sexual desires, that it's fleshly, and that it's sin, and that he was going to take on that sin for himself, and that he would enjoy the sexual pleasures as a human, and experience that, so that they don't have to give in to the sexual pleasures. So
Alrighty then.
yeah, that's like a cult member or a cult leader 101. So where we're going with this. He then takes everyone's wives for himself, and he's the only one that can sleep with them, but he still marries them off to other people, and they can't sleep with their own wives. And the wives can't sleep with their own husbands. So it's crazy. And then he would get the women pregnant, and obviously that doesn't sit well with some people, but I guess when you're brainwashed enough, you're going to do crazy stuff like that. I mean, even people that were already married that brought their family in there. I don't even know how they could do that. People brought their kids in there, and their kids were married off to this man, like these little children, like young women. They were married off to this guy, and I don't know how a parent could have done that. But so the controversy is that the FBI came in, and they're the ones that started it. They're the ones that engaged them first and took the first shots, which caused the shootout, which killed some FBI agents and ATF agents, and and then some of the Branch Davidians were killed. So it was an all-out massacre, and then they got called off because I guess they didn't realize there was children in there. So the sheriff of the county let them know to call it off. So, yeah, I mean, they just came in with guns blazing, and then eventually tanks showed up, and they basically, it went on for, man, I think it was like 60 days or something like that, maybe longer. And they ended it by putting sarin gas, which was banned by the United Nations, and it wasn't even supposed to be on our soil, and it was used apparently and on American citizens by the American government, and which is messed up. I mean, it's a war criminal, or it's a war crime. So, or a crime against humanity. And so the sarin gas was flammable, and apparently that ignited, burning the place up. But the women and children had the women had gas masks on, and they were in a freezer, and then a bunker they had, and then that ended up they basically all died. They choked on the sarin gas and burned to death. And then David Koresh and one of his number one guys, basically, he had someone shoot him, and then that person shot themselves, and the women and children died. It was horrible. Horrible show. I mean, well, it was a good show, but the tragedy was crazy, and I kind of side with it did happen, that the FBI agents were responsible, and that they brought war tactics to the situation, and that made it way worse. So, but what the Colts, I don't agree with Colts, and they were wrong, and it's messed up what that guy did to his own people. But handling it that way was really, really weird. So, but yeah, that's Waco. I'm completely done with the show. It's on Netflix. Check it out, and let me know what you think in the comments below. And yeah, it's a crazy. There's a lot of shows on Netflix, but that one was intense. I couldn't help but watch it all. I liked it better than Tiger King. Had a better story. So, but I would like to talk about. Me and Charlie were kind of mentioning it a little bit. There is a show on Netflix. Since I was saying something about Netflix, there's a show on Netflix called Rotten, and I've watched it throughout the last year, and Rotten is it exposes like different industries, and one of them we wanted to talk about was, you want to show this industry right here, the bottled water industry. That's right, the bottled water industry. That is one of the biggest scams pulled on Americans and humans out of any scam, I believe. I mean, they're taking our water, our own water, and bottling it up and reselling it to us, basically. So I looked up what the bottled water industry makes, and it is crazy what I found. It's in the billions. It is definitely in the billions. So what I have here, um, okay, so the bottled water industry was valued at in the U.S. at 100 and or no U.S. dollars at 185 billion in 2015. 185 billion dollars for water, and it's expected to reach 334 billion dollars by 2023, registering a 8.5% CAGR during the forecast period of 2018 to 2023. I don't know what a CAGR. If you know what it is, let me know below.
Are you talking scam for spring water or purified
Well,
water?
just water in general.
Purified water is, you can do that yourself if you want to pay the water bill. You can bottle it up and sell it.
Well, I'm sure that's illegal to do that. I'm sure they probably have the market, the monopoly on the market, and they don't let
Well, you just
anybody.
come up with a fancy name and say, I've got Joe Smo's bottled water here. It's purified, but
Yeah, and
it's
then they'd
actually,
say stuff like they're enhancing the water. Like it's just a huge scam. It's the same thing that's coming out of your tap water, basically. Now there is filters that you can get, like the what's the Berkey filter, stuff like that, where you can filter out different chemicals in your water. But yeah, I mean they'll find springs and they'll dry up. I believe isn't Nestle like the biggest owner of water, bottled water? Like Nestle owns all kinds of companies. They bought them out. So I bet that's a Nestle company.
it is, I believe.
So they would just come into different communities and they would find their water source, and then they would, because they're a mega company, they would offer big bucks, and they'd buy up. So the governments would benefit from it, and they'd buy up all the water, like the spring water, dry it up. People were feeling the effects from it, and then they would just turn around, put it in these trucks, take it to this plant, and basically pump it into water bottles and package it up and send it off. I mean, and then we're here buying it up, you know? I mean, I guess if you want to look at it a positive way, it's portable. You can just grab it and go. But you know how that is with water bottles. It's you have like tons of water. Like if you have a bigger family, you have all kinds of like half drink water bottles that you don't know who put their mouth on it, so it just sits there and wastes.
Now it goes to the dogs.
Or he gives it to the dogs. But I don't know. So we kind of I tried to do the uh, marker, like the Sharpie, and write my initials on it, but you know that's I just recently just started drinking out of the sink again, like tap water, which is not the best tasting water because it does taste a little bit like it has chemicals in it, a little stronger than bottled water. But I mean, unless you get spring water. I grew up on well water. You ever had well water?
Yep.
Did you grow up on it, Charlie?
Actually, the town that I was not born in but raised in, um, had well water for a while until they put their own system in and stuff.
Really? Well, well water's it's supposedly really good for you because it's got a lot of minerals in it from the what is it, the limestone and stuff. But the problem, and the thing I hated most, like everybody else, is the rotten egg smell. So like we would take a shower and it'd smell like rotten eggs. It's the sulfur in the water. So, but it tasted good other than the rotten eggs. So that's how I grew up drinking well water. So I had a lot of minerals in my body. And
I bet Cindy had to dip the bucket down in the thing and crank it up.
Are you saying she's that old? All right, mother-in-law. Your husband just called you real old. I mean, like, real old.
She also had to, walk up 16 hills in a snowstorm to get to school. Stories you hear like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder what she's doing right now. Oh, it's 11. She ain't going to be up. We could wake her up out of a dead
She's probably
sleep.
still sewing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That'd be kind of nice to call her up and see. I'm going to text her and see if she's still awake. So I got good news I wanted to mention. So our show officially has...
Oh, get ready to push the button.
Let me get this queued up. Our show officially has, ladies and gentlemen, a producer. That's right. We have a producer. He's a good friend of mine. His name is Chuck, and I've known him for years, and he's going to help make this show worth watching. So I'm very excited about it. He's got a lot of good ideas, and we're basically going to be... I don't know how much longer I can push it. We're basically going to be shifting into a little bit different direction, more hands-on. We're going to be doing more challenges, more fun stuff. So that's entertaining for you guys. So that's my goal. And basically what I thought about doing for the show is, because it's called This Can Make Us Famous podcast. It's about, people pursuing fame, people pursuing success. They want to be successful. And so I'm going to be shifting gears a little bit and kind of backing off of the breaking news, this and that. Well, for one, I realized the other day when I was editing, which, by the way, I'm getting better. I'm realizing my mistakes. I realized that I am doing breaking news stuff, which is not relevant a week from now. So I'll talk about a topic, and then next week that topic is no longer relevant. So people are not going to view a video about Kim Jong-un possibly being dead when the news came out that he's alive. So we're going to be doing more hands-on fun stuff. I'm going to be bringing people on the show, which I'm booked out like several days with people that are trying to pursue a successful career as a musician.
That's not me.
YouTube channels, whatever. So that's what I'm going to be doing. That's the direction I'm heading for the podcast, is just bringing people on, hearing their story, giving them a platform to promote themselves, and then doing some really fun, crazy stuff to keep you guys entertained with my guest, and also Charlie, my guest, my special guest, Mr. Charlie Bartha. So I just texted my mother-in-law to see if she's awake. That'd be a fun segment where we just randomly text people, just like, "Hey man, are you awake?"
You awake?
And then call them, and they have no idea they're live on a podcast.
Hey, what are you doing?
"Hey man, I'm just naked here.
I'm in the bathroom.
I'm sitting on the toilet. Oh wait, you're live."
You just never know when we'll call.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could be like a drive-by call.
Yeah,
that's what we can call it. That's what we can call it, Charlie. I'll do a segment where it's like drive-by call, where we just call people.
Who can we do?
Who can we call at a ridiculous hour?
I mean, my nephew wanted to be on. Maybe I'll see if he's awake.
Only thing is my phone is linked.
Yeah, but he can call your phone. Just text him a number. Yeah,
tell him to call in, and we'll get a random guest on here to talk. So, yeah, that's that. It's still hot. Still working on the lighting up here, trying to get it better. It's just so stinking dark. It's hard to edit. It's super hard to edit with this kind of lighting, but we're getting better, folks. We're up to 25 subscribers as of today. That's very exciting. That deserves That deserves an applause.
Wait, is that counting you and me?
Yeah, I guess. Well, technically, we have 23 subscribers. No, I last podcast I did, or the last one, was it with you? Yeah. We did the angry or the sad trombone. That was pretty fun. Oh, we forgot to mention about the Monster water. We were talking about water,
Oh yeah.
and apparently Monster has its own water. They jumped right in.
Yeah, they did. Yep. So
No pun intended.
with all this COVID stuff going on, they've pretty much done away with self-serve coffee, self-serve iced tea, self-serve pop. So I went to this gas station because I was getting a little drowsy. Middle of nowhere, by the way. And I'm like, great. What am I going to do? So I happened to look down, and there was Monster water on sale. It doesn't taste too bad. 200 milligrams of caffeine for a...
Wow, caffeine water.
Yeah.
Well, that's basically coffee. Well, some people drink their coffee watery. I like mine medium. I don't like dark.
Yeah.
I got our one of our roommate, the guy that lives downstairs. He loves thick coffee. I have one friend that's actually, he loves thicker coffee than that dude, and it's crazy. He brought it when I was working doing
What's
remodeling
thick
houses,
coffee?
like almost syrup.
How do you make it
Dude,
that way?
I'm telling you. So he used to bring it to the construction site, and oh my goodness, man, he had this big thermos. It's like one of those bullet looking ones, and he would unscrew it and pour a glass in, and I'm all excited, and I take a sip. Oh my goodness, man, I was picking like grounds out of my teeth. It was disgusting, and I mean, it was the thickest coffee, the strongest coffee I've ever had, man. I'm just getting sick thinking about it. It was, and he just drinks a whole thermos every day.
Wow.
It was insane, dude. Like a sip of it was too much for me. Like my heart was like,
So was he in the military?
no. And he made fun of me because I liked normal coffee that you didn't have to pick the grounds out of your teeth. You hear that, Chris? If you're listening, I'm making fun of you and your coffee.
That's all right, Chris.
But I love you, bro. You're awesome. So yeah, that's thick coffee segment and Monster
water. Yeah,
Monster
try it.
water
Most right now it's on
on sale.
It's on sale 2 for $5.
Energy drinks are
it's like
just too expensive, man.
32. Yeah, but if you ain't got no other choice and you don't like Monster Energy drinks.
But I never understood like why is like the top dog in it, which is Red Bull. Red Bull has, I think they were the ones that basically started it all, or at least the craze for energy drinks. And they're still like $5 like or more a can, and the cans are not as big as the other ones. And like Monster drinks are like what, 2 something a can, or you can get 2 for $4. Oh, not Red Bull. Not Red Bull.
Well, with Red Bull, you get wings.
I hit the right one this time. That's awesome. Red Bull, you get wings.
You don't get
hear
that,
folks?
You don't get that with Monster.
You get the claw with Monster. You get scratched with Monster energy drinks. Did you hear that that rumor, or not the rumor, but that video that went around about the Monster claws being like the mark of the beast,
Oh, yeah.
like 666 va va va, which is Hebrew for.
Yep.
Wow, that was an interesting video. I think that was a little far-fetched far-fetched there, but so are a lot of things in this world
Yeah.
that people believe. I like Monster. I remember when they first came out. They, used to go to the Vans Warp Tour, and
Say what?
it was called the Vans, like the band Vans, or the brand Vans, like the shoes, Vans shoes. They had a Warp Tour, and that's where all the bands went to, like emo bands and punk rock bands, and so there was a booth there, and they started giving out Monster and energy drinks to everybody for free, and I tried to sneak in and get two, and the guy screamed at me. It was crazy, man. Told me to get out, screamed at me. But yeah, they give out those free energy drinks, and in a Warp Tour, they also gave out free condoms to everybody. They were handing young kids.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, they were just handing them condoms, and then it was
Here,
funny.
stay up all night and use these while you're at it.
Yeah, and they were blowing up. People were blowing them up, tying them, and throwing them in the air. So you had like.
Oh, so it became like a Blue Man Group where they do the.
Yeah, but with condoms.
Condoms. So they change colors too, like the Blue Man Group balls.
Oh my god, that's awesome. That's super awesome.
We remember going to see them here in Kansas City, Chelsea's birthday.
Yeah, we went and saw Blue Man. They were pretty awesome. I mean, I don't think it was like the actual Blue Man group. It was like they're so popular now that they do shows everywhere, and they have a whole team of people they send out.
That was the ones.
It was?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The couple of them change out, but it's the same group. There's like 6 of them, but only 4 of them.
Oh, okay.
Perform at a time.
It was neat. I liked it a lot. I would definitely go again.
Yeah, I can remember I got Elizabeth tickets to the Blue Man Group, put them in a box, wrap the box up. You know how people wrap a box and wrap another box?
Yeah.
Put that box in and then wrap another box of that box and so on and so on.
Yeah.
She got down there and found these Blue Man Group tickets and she got all mad. It was at Miller Auditorium in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Then she went and seen the Blue Man Group. She's like, cool.
That's pretty cool, man.
So we, something came, I had to go to the bathroom. So we left and I had to go to the bathroom. So we came back in.
Yeah.
And the lines were down for autographs and all that kind of stuff. So she got the Blue Man Group's autographs.
Yeah.
They take their makeup, and one will do 2 fingers and.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't handle that. Just putting the blue stuff all over you. Wouldn't that feel weird?
Yeah.
Just
I think they do like a face mask thing.
Yeah, well, they put
makeup.
this like helmet thing on them that's like basically latex, and then they put the blue paint and stuff on them, and I think blue contacts. That's excuse me, that's crazy. You'd have to like sweat in that, but they probably use a special kind of paint.
Don't know.
So what else is new in your world, Charlie?
Got a surprise today at work.
Oh, let's hear about it.
Well, the boss sent out an email, said late yesterday, or says, you'd be in the office around 3 o'clock today. So all of us show up at the office that are on a regular basis going to the office, and he says 3 o'clock came around, so we all went in and stood in a big circle, and he put his 2 cents in, saying, let me back up. Before that, one of the guys that's salesman with me called, and we were talking on the phone, and he's like, well, what's the meeting about? We're like, I don't know. It involves the girls up in the front office, so maybe it's, insurance purposes or 401k information or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's crucial. And so we get in there, and he talks, and he says, well, we really appreciate everything you guys have done through this troubled times and the extra effort you put in. All of you have done above and beyond your normal job calls for you to do. And he stops talking, and his sister talks, and she says her, basically the same thing, reiterates and goes in deeper than what he said.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other brother comes in and chimes in and says the same thing, because realistically we have. I mean, I've done, I do delis, but not around the Kansas City area. So we got this new product, and one of the deli girls is out because she's got lupus, so she's more accessible to catching this. So she's been working from home, and we've been covering her job in the city, and another guy that works with the deli. Same thing with him. He's got underlying conditions and then the salesman I talked about. Not only is he getting ready to retire, but he also is up there in age, and he smokes, so he's accessible to too. So, but anyway, long story short, after all that, I said, so we wanted to give you a little something special. And I handed everybody.
They gave everyone a kiss.
I gave everybody an envelope, and inside was a nice little bonus.
Nice. So. Well, that's awesome. That's worth. Wait, that's not worth laughing. But I keep getting them mixed up.
That's why they gave you those little cards so you could tell which one.
I know. Well, that's good, man. Not everybody has that story where they can say that their bosses gave them a bonus for working during this craziness, which leads me to my next subject. COVID-19. Apparently, news sources are saying that it actually, there's strong evidence, even the president himself said there's strong evidence that this came from a lab in Wuhan, China, that the virus came from that. So I remember hearing people it was a rumor, like they talked about it, and it really wasn't, it was just hearsay. But it wasn't like a fact. And now it's looking more like it could possibly be a fact. Like,
germ warfare.
It could have came from a lab, but now whether it was done on purpose now, like, so let's say it did come from that lab in China, in Wuhan, like, did it happen on purpose? Did they do this on purpose? What do you think, Charlie?
I think absolutely did it on purpose.
To collapse the economy. But here's the thing, though. Like, reports are showing, and I know this is very controversial because there's people that will argue till they're blue in the face and tell you that this is horrible and people are dying everywhere and bodies are everywhere. But there's people that say, this is, and it's looking like more people are saying this, even professionals, that this was blown way out.
Way out of proportion.
And it affected our economy in a tragic way.
It's going to affect our economy, and it's going to take a while for it to bounce back.
Because of all this. Mm-hmm. I mean, now I'm not saying like...
no more dollar burgers at McDonald's, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. Gone.
Wow. Unbelievable. Well, I'm not saying like it did come from a lab, and I'm not saying they did it on purpose or whatever. I still don't know until the facts are crystal clear and it's out there. I can have my thoughts and my speculations just like you can and anybody else, but
don't hate us because of our thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got their own opinion like you do, so we're expressing ours. So, and we love you for your opinions and your thoughts. So
you can feel free to put them in the comment section.
Yeah, heck yeah. I love it. I love dialogue. I love hearing people talk about what their thoughts are on it, because maybe I didn't think of that, But
matter of fact, if we get people to say 50 people to comment that onions are great for you.
Oh my gosh.
Jason will eat an onion live on this show.
I'll tell you what, if I can hit my first milestone, my first millstone, which is 100 subscribers.
Oh, I'll just make 100 accounts. It's done.
Oh, YouTube will know. They're actually smart about that stuff. They know the different, they know because people have tried it.
I'll just pay everybody $5. Subscribe to this channel.
Yeah.
Jason,
What you could do is go to the library and log on to every computer, like different computers, and then like go to all these computers all over the place and hit
hey,
subscribe.
thanks for the suggestion.
Yeah,
Emily and I will be doing that.
I got like 3,000 subscribers overnight. Like YouTube, like they're looking at their little map and they're like, huh, this guy's getting a ridiculous amount of subscribers overnight in this region. And it's all coming from a library.
They just did redo the library over by us, so
Yeah.
I haven't been there since. Of course, couldn't go there since. So.
Yeah, I've been there. It's pretty awesome. Anyways, how did we get there? I don't even know what the heck we were talking about the lab.
Because I got to bring that up, and I just felt like that was a good time to bring it up.
Oh, okay. Wow. Sorry, it's so hot up here and I'm tired. Guys, it is crazy hot up here and I'm trying to think straight right now. But yeah, so the lab, let's get right back to it because I know I'm losing y'all. So the lab in Wuhan apparently is what this came from. So I don't know, but it's looking more like it could be. I mean, just think about it. Okay, let's just think. Let's use common sense. Okay, the Chinese have been eating this way their whole lives. They've eaten crazy stuff their whole lives. So,
What kind of crazy stuff?
like bats, rats, cats, basically anything with ats.
What kind of bat? Like a baseball bat?
Like, yeah, black bats, like vampire bats and stuff like that. They eat that. They'll eat cockroaches and basically anything that you would step on and or stay far away from. They cook that up and make a delicious omelet with it.
Are you sure it's an omelet?
No, it's definitely not an omelet. They wouldn't eat anything normal like that. Well, I mean, what's normal to us is not normal to them. Different cultures. But yeah, they've been eating like that for a long time. That's my point. And they never had an outbreak like this before because of that. I mean, I could be wrong. There's been some outbreaks, but not a global where the whole world shuts down. I mean, we're talking the entire planet shut down, like every country in the world. That's never happened before. So, and the virus didn't seem that serious. Like, I mean, even now the death tolls are dropping because things were mixed up. And even when they were exaggerated, it still wasn't anywhere close to the amount of deaths as other.
You know, there's a lady that I refuse to share her post because she's cussing every other word out of her mouth, but you know, she shows her doctor's slip from the hospital.
Yeah.
She had a 98.1 temperature,
Right.
which is below normal actually.
Yeah.
And she went in, no fever, nothing like that. She just couldn't taste. And guess what her diagnosis was?
She had COVID-19.
COVID-19.
Unbelievable.
Never tested her, nothing.
Unbelievable. See, there's just thousands of cases like that.
You know, so
Um,
we're going to find out in the end that these numbers are
far exaggerated.
exaggerated a little too far. There's no massive burial in New York for these people.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You got to think about, the people, social media, false information. And this is, when you get people worked up in a frenzy, they go out and buy up all the toilet paper. They buy up all the groceries. They think the world's coming to an end. And, it seemed like it because this has never happened before. So now, no matter who you are, you have to look back at all this And you have to ask yourself, like, how powerful the media is and like how much influence they have over us, the people. Um, I I got a friend who's probably going to be listening to this podcast wondering what the heck am I talking about, because we have a disagreement on this, but he's a good friend of mine. I just met him, became a good friend of mine, and we have a disagreement in this area, which is totally fine. But I just don't understand, like, it should scare people how much power the media has. Like, I mean, they take a camera like what we're doing and they point it in a direction, and whatever you see, what they're pointing at, they can create a narrative. They can create a story out of what you're seeing through that lens. Yep. But if you open the lens up and then you're seeing the full story, you're like, oh, okay, that's what they meant, or that's what that actually was, or that. So it's like whatever you happen to subscribe to, whether it's Fox News or CNN or whatever, ABC, whatever news source, like, that can't be our source as a news. I mean, we know that the news thrives on good ratings. I mean, it's a business. They're in it to make money. They're not in it to give us, the people,
they're not going to.
They're all like that. I'm not saying just Fox News.
They're not going to get
CNN.
sponsorship money if they.
Yeah, they
don't
got
have the
to create big dramatic stories. They can't make millions of dollars. Like, just like this video, like, usually people are not going to watch these videos until they're extremely interesting, unless we're pouring hot sauce in our eyeballs and electrocuting ourselves. Like,
hey,
people don't want to.
That's all you.
Well, I'm not going to do it. I was hoping you would. No, so people will do anything, whatever. So, which kind of is hypocritical what we're about to do. But well, we're not going to go too far into that stuff. But what I'm saying is the news has a lot of power over the people, and they control the masses. And it's people, they'll be like, whoa, man, I listen to Fox News, so they're all right. Like, dude, come on. They're all the same. It's the news. It's the media. They control the masses, whatever. This whole COVID-19 coronavirus outbreak is a perfect example of how the media controls the people, and how they can get the whole world, like a puppet. They can get the whole world to shut down by just broadcasting false information.
Yeah.
Just like that, guys, the entire freaking planet shut down. Unbelievable. So, however, I do realize there's going to be a lot of debate on this, and people saying that their facts are completely right, just like, but I will say this. I'm not saying I'm completely right. I do really believe with all my heart, though, that the media is too powerful and they need to be held accountable. So what do you think, Charlie?
Well, you've seen those videos where they put different news stations from all across the nation, and their verbiage is almost word for word from all of them.
Oh, I saw that. That was really crazy. Now, I do got to be careful, because now I am somewhat out there on the YouTube world. So if this video went viral, the media could destroy me in a split second. My whole life turned upside down. See, that's also what's scary about the news, is if they don't like you or you rub them the wrong way, bye-bye, you're gone. Easy, you're gone. They just make a story up or stretch the truth, and you're toast. There ain't nothing you can do about it.
Yep.
Nothing. That should scare you, people.
This message was brought to you by Jason McCormick.
His address is... No, they already know my address. Anyways, I got too political. I'm not going to get much more political than that. But, everybody's talking politics these days and what their thoughts are on this COVID-19. It's okay if you disagree with me strongly and think I'm crazy, whatever. But You know what? I love you guys, and feel free to express your disagreement in the comments, but I will not push you away or avoid you just because you think differently than me. Not at all. That's what makes us a free country. That's what makes us humans. Like, we can have different opinions that are not the same. So, but let's have debate, but in a loving way. And yeah, so, but yeah, that's Wuhan, man. I hope the truth officially comes out. And I mean, this is such a big thing that I don't think it's just gonna go away. I don't think it's just gonna go away and then it's swept under the rug like it never happened.
No.
Who knows?
This actually probably will make it in the history books at school.
Oh, this will be in the history books. You know how like a lot of elderly people could say they lived through World War II or World War One or
The Great Depression.
the Great Depression, you know, stuff like that, which is epic. I mean, we can't say that we lived through that until, well, I mean, we still have a place to sleep. We all have food to eat and whatever. So it's kind of a different thing, but it is crazy. So we can, you know, in the future, when I'm an old man, if the good Lord lets me live that long, I'll be able to tell my grandkids, you know, I remember when this happened and
That you hiked
yeah,
up 6 hills to get to school in the snow. You had to stoke the fire at the school.
Well, I at least got to live like before, like, I mean, computers were barely around when I was a kid, but you know, I got those stories. I didn't grow up with cell phones. I didn't grow up with, you know, computers, and I grew up, you know, going outside to play and all that stuff. So, but unfortunately, it's a different day, different time. So, which brings us to the most important part of this whole podcast, guys. I'm going to go ahead and cue our intro. Oh, I love that when it just slowly comes in. Mr. Charlie, it's time for What's in Charlie's Bag. You never know what's in Charlie's bag, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a surprise for us today. This is what gets people to click on your videos.
So, today, that's what's in this container, by the way.
Young green
We have 2 items.
jackfruit. Blech. Habanero stuffed olives.
Which one do you want to try first, Jason?
Uh,
No candy this week.
so would it help if I
I think you ought to try this and then chase it with the jackfruit.
well, that's what I was trying to decide. What's the plan of attack here? I need a good strategy. So this is it sweet? Is the jackfruit
Let's
sweet?
smell it.
Oh, it looks messed up. Oh, God. That stinks.
Yes, jackfruit does stink.
Oh, that's so great. Man, I'm going to throw. I should have brought a trash can. I'll just throw up in this can. Oh, I don't know if I could do a whole one. I'll probably puke. Is it supposed to be nasty or good?
The only way I've had this before is barbecued.
I'll save one for the. Oh man!
I'm going for the olive first.
You don't think we should do it together so we have the same reaction?
I'm doing the olive first.
All right, then I have to do the olive first. We may not even be up to. Oh man, I'm so scared right now. Oh, guys, I do this for the subscribers.
This is Stanley James Smokehouse habanero stuffed olives. Woo-wee.
Is it spicy?
You talk about the jackfruit smelling.
All right.
Is there a small one in there?
He's gonna get like a little crumb. Oh, this is like the big daddy right here.
Make sure there's actually something in there.
Oh, it's in there.
Let me see.
See it? Oh, shoot. Come on. Oh, man. Oh my gosh. I mean, it smells like an olive, but I know I'm about to taste something different. Look at that. Green habanero.
Let's see the inside of that thing again.
It's in there.
He ain't got no. Look, that's a stuffed olive right there. Look what he's got.
You see mine? It's in there.
All right.
I'll even do 2. Ready?
Ready as I'm going to be. Gonna...
All right, Charlie, let's do it. Oh, Lord.
Oh, mama. Not as bad as I thought it would be. Nonetheless, it's bad.
Just wait. Ugh.
I think I'm regretting not bringing a candy this week.
Yeah, why did you have to bring this? I mean, I've had the...
There, you said
I'm trying not to touch mine.
You said you were going to do 2.
Might as well. No, I'm getting the hic.
What was the crunchy part in there?
I don't know if I can, Charlie. Oh. Oh, that's... That's what happens to me when I eat spicy stuff. Oh! Ah! Why? Charlie, I'm blind. I'm dying. People are making fun of me because they're like, dude, I've done the ghost. I can't even. So overwhelmed right now. I'm overwhelmed.
Oh,
my eyes are on fire.
He usually can handle this kind of stuff, and I am
not habanero.
I'm like laughing at him because my.
Oh God, I don't know if I can do any. All right, here we go. I said I would do it. I'm gonna do it. Ah! I'm gonna puke.
Not on the camera.
Oh man, I'm gagging. I don't know if I can.
I'm gonna dig for the small.
See, I bet if you do, I bet if you do just a regular habanero, it's not as bad as that nasty olive. I don't know if I could do the jackfruit. You try it. Is it nasty?
Ouch.
Oh, God. Is it gross? Does it have just a weird taste? Just spit it out. Oh. Oh, oh, it stinks so bad. Oh, God. I don't know if I can. I don't want to puke on. Oh, I can't. I just can't. I'm going to throw up. I promise I'm going to throw up. Oh, God.
So,
okay, guys.
I survived both.
All right, forget this. All right, thank you.
That's all we got for you today.
Man.
See you guys later.
I'm here to work hard for these subscribers. Thank you for tuning in.
That's why you need to subscribe so we can get Jason to eat an onion.
Oh, that'd
on
be
his
worse.
channel.
I'm telling you what, it'll be worse than this.
That, my folks,
Yeah.
is jackfruit. Maybe we'll barbecue it and try it again next time.
Oh, God. I mean, just smelling that, dude, made me gag.
I tried that down at barbecue place down there. It's called like Bar.
Yeah.
It's got Bar in its name, Bar something, downtown Kansas City.
Well, let's go ahead and wrap this.
Yeah.
Wow. We got. Yeah, that was an adventure. Thank you for listening to this Can Make Us Famous podcast. Tune in for the next one. It'll be less spicy.